just documenting a dream I had. I've been up for about 10-15 minutes. I've just made myself a coffee, so remember if I go quiet, it's because I'm having a sip. I've just made my offerings to the birds, so you might hear them start kicking off as soon as they know the food is out there. But I, I actually had 3 dreams about the exact same thing, which is exceptionally rare. So if you ever go to sleep and have a dream and then wake up and go back to sleep and dream about the exact same thing, it means that you're being told to pay attention. You're being told that this is important information and you need to pay attention. And I had a dream about the same thing 3 times because I got up. I passed out quite early, like about 9:30 or something. I fell asleep really early, and then I woke up just before 11 to go to the toilet because I'd been drinking a lot of water. And then I had the dream, and then I went back to sleep. Yeah, I went to sleep at about 9:30, had the dream, woke up just before 11, went to the bathroom, went back to sleep, had another dream, woke up at 3:40 or something to go to the bathroom, and then went back to sleep, and I woke up just now. But I had not identical dreams, but the exact same kind of dream where I was staying in a hotel. Now, usually in dreams, when you dream of being in hotels or motels, B&Bs, that sort of thing, it's to do with you being in the in-between. Like you haven't quite started your new life, and you haven't quite left your old one. You're in the in-between. But because I had this dream 3 times, when I woke up just a minute ago, I knew exactly what I was being told. I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I was being shown the order with which to build my businesses. And in the first dream, I dreamt I was driven in this really nice car to a hotel where I don't know if it was not spring break because the boys looked older than like they were at high school or anything like that. They looked like they were in their 20s. I don't know what it was, if it was but the hotel was booked out because of this event, and it was full of all these young males and other people. But I just, when I walked in, and they were all happy and ready to party, they were ready to celebrate, they were ready, they were excited, they were loud but not obnoxious or anything like that. They were just so happy to be there. And I got driven in this really nice car. I don't know if it was like a Rolls Royce or something like that. It pulled up to the hotel, and I had someone rush to the door to take my bag. And as I was walking to the checkout, I was flicking through mail, like hunfies of mail, probably bills or something because they were in white envelopes. And as I was walking to the check-in desk, the person behind the desk saw me. She was a African American woman, and she was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're here!" And she came running out from behind the desk, and she ran up to me and she threw her arms around me, gave me a big hug, and she was like, "Oh, I've been so excited. I've been waiting for you, and this is so exciting. Are you ready? Like this is going to be fantastic. I'm so happy that you're here." And then other people saw who she was talking to, other staff in their gorgeous little uniforms, came running around. They were wearing navy blue and purple, like navy blue, like vests and pants and skirts and all that, and like purple, really beautiful, like purple shirts underneath, long collared shirts. I think the one behind the desk had short sleeve purple shirt. And they were all coming over to greet me and everything. And she goes, "Have you got your key?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Come on." She said, "I'll get someone to man the desk." She said, "I can't wait to show you your room." And I was like, this was like a high-rise hotel, and I was taken to my room, and it was done just like all the comforts of home sort of thing, but without a kitchen. Like it was like my bedding. It had like, pictures of my kids and my sister and all that up. I remember my cat's ashes, Kareem and Ghibli were there, like on the little thing by the TV and all of that. And it was like, it was my own personal room in the hotel. And I got changed because I was wearing like heels and stuff, and I got changed. And I went to go back down into the lobby to go to sit by the swimming pool to open up that mail, and there was this young man there who was giving me the eye, and he was being like, he nudged his friend who was like darker skinned. I don't know if he was like Latino or whatever, but he kind of nudged his friend and he said, "I'm going to marry that woman." And I went down by the pool, and all these boys were in the pool swimming, and they were all like chatty and talking and that, and I was just trying to open my mail. And when I opened up the mail, that's when I woke up. So then when I went back to sleep, I had a dream that I was walking through the woods and was following a path, like a really beautiful concrete path that had like solar lights along the path. And when I was walking along it, there were all these, I mean, there wasn't like hundreds of them, but there must have been about 7 or 8 tents pitched um, in amongst the trees. And I walked past them to follow the path to go into this beautiful, I mean, it's how I want to build my hotel. And I was walking to it and I was smelling bacon. So I was going there to get breakfast. I was walking along the path, past where the campsite was, where the people were camped, and I walked into this just spectacular. It's everything I would want my hotel to look. To go into the dining area because we're gonna do. You can have room service, or you can have or you can eat breakfast buffet down in the communal dining area. And I was walking to the communal dining area to get breakfast because I could smell bacon. I woke up hungry, I have to admit. And when I was sitting, they brought the plate to me, and it had all my favourites on it. Like they knew what I ate, and they brought the plate to me on a tray. This all matters. And I was sitting out the window, kind of leaning back, and I could see sort of off to the left my concert venue. We were going to put on all the stage performances and all that. I could just see the top of it over the trees in there. I could sort of see the stage in that, but I couldn't see the grounds because it was slightly obscured by trees and bushes and that. And I just had this feeling of what a night that was. Everyone just felt accomplished. Everybody felt satiated. Everybody felt content. Everybody felt like this is the life. Like we've made it. This is it. This is our future. Like this is it. And it's fantastic. And then I woke up, went to the bathroom, came back to sleep. And then the third dream, I dreamt I was walking along these streets that there were houses on one side, and there was this big building on the left. And Selena Gomez was standing at the end of the driveway to the business because it was her man that owned it, like her. Because I remember thinking I thought she was married to an actor. But in this dream, she was married to like what you would call like not a tech bro, but he was definitely someone who was very successful in business, and she was saying, you got here earlier than I expected. Come on, I'll walk down with you. And she took my arm, and it reminded me very much of Surfers Paradise in Queensland, where it's just like hotel after hotel after hotel with smatterings of like residential houses in between. And it was very hot and sunny. And she took me to this hotel where, again, there were all these men, like young boys, there swimming in the pool. And she said, this will be yours for now, but this will be yours for now. Just wait here, and when he's ready, he'll come to you. And then I woke up, and I knew immediately what I was being told, because I dreamt about hotels 3 times in a row. Talked about young, excited men. I dreamt about, swimming pools. Swimming pools were in my dream twice, which means when you dream of swimming pools, if obviously you take into account the weather, you take into account the cleanliness of the water, but these places, the streets were spotless, the campsite was spotless, everything was in perfect order, the sun was shining. There was just a sense of excitement and calm and just perfection. And of course, when you dream of nature, being out in trees and that, you're in the presence of God. So I knew that I was being told that when I find my spot in upstate New York, the 2 things I have to do first, which is what the swimming pool is, you need to take time to reflect. You need to sit and think on this. You need to give this some thought, is what I was being told. That's what swimming pools are. And because it was full of young, excited men in that, I'm to build my stage to perform our concerts and stuff. I'm to let people camp in my grounds as long as they follow the rules, but I'll have a park ranger. And I'm the first business I'm to put up, other than starting my IT and games company and all that, is I need to get my hotel up and running, because the people are going to flock to the fact that they'll get to stay, get concerts put on for them in a remote nature reserve, because any land that I own, it's going to be immediately, I'm going to apply for it to be classed as a nature reserve, especially if any of the ones that I buy have got rivers or lakes on them, and quite a few of them do. So it'll be a nature reserve where they will come, and it'll be like a retreat. In the meantime, we can get the kids' dorms set up, because they're basically going to be prefabs for now. They are basically prefabs that we just give a personal touch to. But my hotel, the Royal Oak Tree Inn, I'm to put that up before any of my shops open or anything like that, because what I'm offering in that hotel is going to be enough that people are going to flock. The young, excited men. It's to do with, I think, the fact that, because I'm going to be creating a lot of jobs, but I think also it's going to be to do with my Beyond Life program, with my juvenile detention program, with my Beyond Life program. I think that I'm going to be helping a lot of young men stay out of prison. I think I'm going to be helping a lot of young men find themselves at my retreat, and having that excitement of, this is my world now. I get to be around musicians and actors and gaming artists and programmers, and just like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe I was about to go to prison, and here I am here. And all my staff and that were just like, we were just all in sync with each other, to the point where they knew what I wanted for breakfast. And the hotel, the reason why I was flicking through the bills is because it was my hotel. That's why I turned up in a Rolls Royce. talking about this is what you're going to do with your money, and this is what you need to do first. And it's like God, my ancestors, if it's America we're talking about Thunderbird, although sometimes I call him Thundercloud, because when I first started dreaming about him, he used to come out of the clouds. But, you know, the Native American god Thunderbird, because I know that I am Native American, like quite a bit Native American. I found out the reason why I have high cheekbones and a pointy chin is Native American. That's a classic, and my blood type is Native American. People with my blood type, there's more Native Americans with my blood type than any other people on earth. So the other thing I was thinking as well, if you look at the thumbnail of the live that I did yesterday, I put up the North Star, the actual North Star, Polaris. And the Cepheus constellation is also a North Star. So the Star of Behemoth in the Cepheus constellation is also a North Star, but Polaris is the actual North Star, you know, by Ursa Minor and Major and that. So it dawned on me yesterday, my grandmother tree dream. You know how I figured out that the grandmother tree dream was about my nana, my nanas, my Māori nana and my native nanas and all of that in Papatūānuku, like my nanas, the matriarchs of my bloodline, telling me welcome home, because I finally zeroed in on where I need to go. I finally figured it out. And then remember, I had to follow the animals to the horses and let the horses take me. And when the horses stopped, I was to look up. And in the dream, when I look up, I see the star, right? And anyone knows me knows that I've talked about following the North Star since I got married, because Nikki, one of my former students, who was my maid of honour, when she was driving us from North Carolina to New York, I did a reading for her in regards to her father, who is Native American and Mexican. I'm trying to remember the tribe she was from. Anyway, he was the one that told me to follow the North Star. And ever since then, ever since December 2017, we were trying to figure out what the hell the North Star was. And then I thought it must be something to do with my grandmother tree dream. And I spent the longest time trying to figure out the North Star, what he meant by following the North Star. And I had students and followers and all of that all over the world trying to help me figure out where this North Star was, because I knew that when I found the grandmother tree, I'd find the North Star, thinking it was an actual physical location. And people kept saying there's an actual tree in New York called the grandmother tree. And we looked it up and I was like, oh, well, that's it. It must be New York that we're going to. And then, of course, all hell broke loose. And everything got defragmented, but it's almost like, because when she said, when you get to the coyote, turn right at the coyote and follow the animals till you get to the horses, and then let the horses take you the rest of the way, and when they stop, look up, right? And we've just had Māori New Year, and I believe that my coyote was my ex, the trickster, the one who was going to decide my fate depending on how I dealt with him. And by dealing with that situation the right way, it led me exactly to where I meant to go. And I realised yesterday that North Star of the Polaris that I put up on my live was the North Star from my dream. I was talking about how I wrote a song when I was a little kid called White Stallion. Which, if I remember the song rightly, was actually talking about a Pegasus. um, that my friend Lisa Jorgensen and I wrote. I wrote the lyrics. She wrote the music to it. She was a little thing, and I used to protect her because she used to get beaten up by the bullies. She was constantly picked on by the bullies, and I absolutely beat the crap out of this bully in our class because he threw her lunch in the bin and then pushed her, and she fell into the bin, and everyone laughed and pointed, and she was utterly humiliated. And I was so angry because Lisa was the nicest, sweetest. She was like just this beautiful little blonde haired, bespectacled angel. She like wouldn't hurt a fly. She never bothered anyone. She was just a really really intelligent. She ended up becoming a scientist. Um, she could play like musical instruments, and she was just such a lovely girl. And I was so angry that and because the boy that I beat up was like 6'3", he was a lot bigger than I was, and I absolutely beat the crap out of him. I was so angry because she was hurt, she was humiliated. She would have, because she was considered like the nude, which is why I'm protective of freaks, geeks, nudes, dorks, and weirdos. And I absolutely beat the crap out of him, and the school didn't even tell me off for it. He was the one that got humiliated because then he got beaten up by a girl. I've only ever gotten into a couple of fights in my lifetime, but they were to protect the people that I love, who were a lot smaller than the people that were threatening them. Yeah, and the school did nothing. My teacher did nothing. The school did nothing. It was like it was this unspoken word. He deserved it, and then he ended up becoming one of my best friends. So yeah, so I lost track because I'm just thinking about when he came to my party when I was getting ready to go to Australia. One of my brothers said to him, "How do you know my sister?" And he said she beat me up in class. So yeah, so oh, I've lost my train of thought. I'm just thinking about Lisa again. Yeah, so she put the music to my song, and I'm pretty sure if I remember the lyrics rightly, it was about this white stallion who was on a mission. Like this white stallion, he had been set free, and he wasn't looking back, and he was running so fast he took flight. And how he couldn't be contained anymore and all of that sort of stuff. And I wrote that when I was 12 going on 13. And that's what I realised. I had completely forgotten about writing that song. I mentioned it, the North Star, and I'm thinking, follow the horse. And when you get there, look up. And then I talked about writing that song and about how I had remembered that I've been writing songs and composing songs and that since I was a kid, from the age of like 8, 9, and writing books and stories and that from probably even younger than that. Doing the radio shows, writing the soap opera with my sister, and all of that. It was there in me all along, and that was the part of the dream. My grandmother tree dream. Let the horses take you, because horses represent, obviously, other than majesty and mysticism, and having big hearts and being loyal, and that it's also to do with looking at the journey, reflecting on the journey. When like in the Wild West and all, the horses are the ones that took the pioneers, and the horses are in the thick of everything, but they took the pioneers, they took the men, the cowboys out west, they helped the cowboys do their job, and that and when you're on a horse, it's all about the journey. And so now I understand that the grandmother dream, when she said let the horses take you, she's saying let the memories of your past and the journey you've been on take you to where you're meant to go. And when the horses stop, look up, and in the dream when I stop and look up, I see the star, the North Star. So putting all of that together, the last live I did had the North Star on it, and now it's like I'm being because I always knew that when I saw the North Star, I'd be shown exactly where I'm meant to go, where I'm meant to build my school, where I'm meant to live. And this dream that I've had just now, having looked up yesterday and realised, oh, that's the star from my dream from when I was 4 or 5 years old, New York, upstate New York. And what I was being shown was that I would be showing me to go not only upstate New York, but this is the order in which I'm supposed to build everything. Build a concert venue, build a theatre, build a arena, and a hotel, and turn it into a nature reservation and invite campers and that, invite people to come and stay while everything else is being built in the background, and we'll put on shows and performances and stuff for you, and you can enjoy our retreat in peace and tranquility, while we're building the rest of the show behind you, as in like the shops and businesses and all of that. Because what it means is, what I'm being told is, I don't have to wait till everything's built to start making money. I can start making money as quickly as I can get the stage built, the hotel built, and I can get all the legal work to, get it turned into a nature reserve. And because we will be, we're going to ban hunting on our land. There will be no hunting on our land. And if I buy any of the properties there, because I know some of the ones I was looking at, you have private lakes and rivers and all of that, sections that you can go fishing on. So it means that I will open it up to fishermen to come, and they can come and stay and have like a weekend's fishing, or come and spend the day fishing. They can get like little fishing permits and all of that, and we'll even give them like a little area if they want to cook their fish and eat their fish, and go camping and all that, and do that first, because then I'm at least making money. And that's what my dreams were telling me. Pay attention, Debbie. Listen to. We need you to have a think about this, because we're telling you the order with which you're to start bringing in money before the whole thing is built. And with the Selena Gomez situation, obviously because she's a singer and an actress, so she's representing the talent, the people that I'm going to be employing, the people who are going to be putting on the shows, and her boyfriend, I think, is to do with an investor. I think maybe there's an investor out there who has like some sort of big business in technology, which if I'm, because I'm going into the IT industry, you see, so he may be someone who gives me some advice, or helps invest in my IT, because my IT company and my games company have to be the two businesses, actual proper businesses, that I set up first. For making money, I can do the holiday retreat thing with the hotel and all of that, to start bringing in income pretty quickly. But with the IT company and the games company working behind the scenes, because they're the ones that are going to be immediately put on getting my streaming service set up, and making my dating app before anything. Because I know my dating app is going to be a big money maker. And then we can start working on the other, like the mini games and all of that to put on the server. And people can start doing like our version of, YouTube and all of that, like as soon as that stuff can be up and running. But in the meantime, while all that's going on, and then of course, as the money starts coming in, which is why I was being driven in a Rolls Royce and someone was carrying my bag and carrying my food, it's like everything's going to fall into place. And then I can get the other businesses set up, get the restaurants set up, get the shops set up, get Fairyland Productions set up, get the broadcasting house. I know I call it November Rain, but I don't know, Scorpio Rain. I keep, it's because I had a dream about it being called November Rain Broadcasting House, but that's a lot. It's a lot to say, so I'm trying to shorten it. I like the idea that it's rain, REIGN, but it's also a play on words because rain, like pouring down on ideas and creativity, pouring down on the broadcasting house. So I was going to maybe call it like Queen's Rain Broadcasting or Scorpio Rain Broadcasting or something like that. So the name of the broadcasting house is going to change. I just, North Rain, Star Rain, North Rain Broadcasting House, North Rain. I don't know. Polaris Broadcasting House, because I've got North Star IT. Polaris Broadcasting House, Polaris Rain Broadcasting. I don't know, we'll see, I'll put a pin in it. But yeah, and once the hotel's up and running, and the stage is set and all of that, then obviously I can build my production companies, my Fairyland Productions and the broadcasting house and the offices where my IT staff and games company, QE2 Games, they'll be able to move in to the property. It just depends on my construction crew and how fast we can start getting these buildings up. Because obviously I'm going to have to get permits, I'm going to have to get planning permission, building permission. I want to use as much recycled materials as possible. Buildings that are set for demolition and all of that sort of thing. I want to take materials from, recycled materials as much as possible. But yeah, so I need an incredible lawyer, I need an incredible architect and landscaper. And then we can work together. And it depends on my construction team and how fast we can get something built without, detracting from the aesthetics and safety standards or anything like that. I guess it all depends on how many builders and contractors and that I can find. If it's a small team of about 10, 15 guys, it's going to take a little while. But if there's like 100 of them, even if some of them are only temporary staff, it might not take as long. I might be able to split them up into two and have one building one lot and one building the other. Plus as well, my Fairyland Productions is pretty much just an air hangar, like a hangar for a plane. We move and change the set about. And then there's like the School of Alchemy and all of that. And then once all that's done, then we can build mine and my sister's house at the back of the property. She'll be my next door neighbour. I'm going to build her dream little cottage. So I was told the order with which to build. Irrespective of whether I do all of this myself or whether I have investors. But with the whole Selena Gomez dream, I think as well, because she took me to the hotel with the swimming pool, she was saying, have a think about it. Like, I think I'm going to be approached by somebody who on paper I'd be thinking, I don't want to have anything to do with that person, because I'm not a fan of those kind of people. But I think she was saying, listen to what they're saying, pay attention to what they're saying, have a think about it. So I think I'm about to be approached by somebody who wants to be a part of what I'm creating, who can offer financial support and advice and stuff, where ordinarily I'd be like, no, go away. Nope, no. But she was saying, have a think about it. Like, listen to what they're saying. Because remember, I still had the mail in my hand. I was flicking through the mail in the second dream. So, like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak. Don't immediately brush him off just because on paper, he might not be somebody that I would want to associate with. The fact that it was a beautiful sunny day and the streets were clean and the water was pristine in the pool and everybody was happy, it's basically saying that this is that he's been guided to you. Because remember, she said, you just stay right here and he'll come to you. He's been guided to me. Whoever he is, I don't know if he's watching me right now, but it's like he's been drawn to me. He knows what I'm building is something pristine and pure and clean, and he wants to be a part of it. And he's in the tech industry somehow. Or he can bring knowledge of the tech industry or something, and don't just completely brush him off. He's been guided to me. He's been sent to me. He's drawn to me in the same way that I'm being drawn to upstate New York. So I have to keep an open mind. Because obviously if I get the right kind of investment, then I can build it all in one go. But to start with the hotel and the concert venue and all of that first. That's the first thing we have to build. And then once that's built, they can go on to build the other stuff. Even if they're building it behind the scenes, I can start making money as soon as those two things are up. So, and then we can just open all the businesses and, open everything up to the tourists and the people of New York and upstate and Canada and all of that, and America and the wider world, as each thing is opening. And we can promote it on social media and all of that. So, yeah. So that's a dream. So pretty exciting. So if you ever have a dream where you dream about the same thing 3 times in a row, you're being told to pay attention. That you're being given instructions. And I knew exactly what I was being told the second I woke up. Yeah, I'm just going to have a sip. And the last piece of the grandmother tree puzzle has finally fallen into place. Technically been there the whole time because, the North Star. So I'm going to go. And yeah, so that's the next order of business. It's starting to become very real. I've just been planning my farewell tour of the UK with my sister Erin, putting pins in places that we're going to visit. I just sent her a whole list and she's getting so excited now. So I'm going to take her on a tour of Coronation Street, which is she just said is going to be heaven. She loves soap operas, as I've said. But EastEnders and Coronation Street, but you can't do tours of EastEnders, but you can of Coronation Street. So, yeah, so it's all becoming very real. And in regards to the young man who elbowed his friend and said, I'm going to marry that woman, he's obviously younger than me. But I guess whoever I end up with is waiting for me. Head of the eagle. So, yeah, I don't know. I love at first sight, basically, but that could be indicative of the horses knowing the direction you're going, knowing exactly where you're going in life, and following your heart. That's what he could be symbolic of. That he was saying to me, follow your heart, follow the path, because it's going to take you to where you're happy. And obviously, I'm a good boss because my staff were. It's almost like in the first dream that it was the hotel's opening, and everyone was excited because it had been open for like a day or two, and everyone was. It was like opening night of the hotel for the first time, and everyone was excited, and I was turning up to stay there to see how everything was going or something, and they were all excited. But clearly my staff loved me because they all came out of nowhere to give me hugs and welcome me, and now I know, what the uniforms are going to look like. And so the dream was pointing out the direction I'm to go in and to follow my heart and to not immediately discard investors, because on paper they might not necessarily be people that I would want to associate with. That they're coming with pure intentions and they've been guided to me by a higher power. They've been drawn to me as much as what I've been drawn to New York. So, yeah, no, I totally understand the dream. Even if I'm not explaining it properly, I understand exactly what they were telling me. So, as I keep saying, get ready, America, because I think Trump's going down and then the path is going to be cleared. And I'll be right there. Pew. As soon as that gate opens, man, I'm off. There'll be no stopping me. Like my white stallion turning into a Pegasus, the horse running so fast it flew, which is Spiridon in Lucian's Dragon. Flying horses. Yep. So I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'll speak to you later. Ka kite. Mwah.